Take four. Must see TV with your host, Jack Toledano, here on All or Not According to Jack. And I got to tell you that the reason I had to do multiple takes because, that this little blur that happens behind me and my giant pajamas got in the way. So can't make this shit up. But anywho, Jack Toledano, All or Not According to Jack. Glad you could join me this evening. So let's get this. I'm playing with the new toys that I have here on Zoom, and this little television console is one of them. Hey, I've always wanted to be on TV. Now I can say that I am. Anyway, I'm just going to remove the background, and we'll get into what all this is for, as Shame in the Batman series would say. Um, so anyway, Jack Toledano, All or Not According to Jack. Um, so in the Facebook world, there are these groups that you could join, and you can any interest in the world, and you can get into these discussions on said interests. But this one group that I joined is a group about the band, one of my favorite bands, Jethro Tull. So these people had been asking, several people, mind you, been asking the question, what is your favorite song? And while it gets tiresome and a little cliche, I thought, you know what, I would pursue that because I made my top 15 list a long time ago, and I've been waiting for the right time to share it with everybody. So, you know what? Now is as good a time as any, so let's do that. So I'm going to give you my top 15, but I'm going to also give you the top 15 as voted by you. Anybody who's on this Jethro Tull um, Facebook group. And basically, how I do it is so take, for example, if you said Living in the Past was your favorite song, I would I would give it a tick once, but then I would also count all the people that liked that response. So, say, for example, uh, they said, there's 15 likes. So I gave them 16 as credit. And then at the end, I tabulated it to see which song got the most votes, and we went from there. So, anyway, I am going to go to my PowerPoint and share. So let's do that. Um, let's share. And there we go. All right. From the beginning. Okay. Jethro Tull, top 15 songs. And I'm going to move myself somewhere out of the way. Yours and mine. So let's start with yours. Top 15 songs is voted by you. I've got a mandolin, a couple of Celtic signs, a flute, and there we go. Gotta have my root beer. Tie for 15 songs from the wood, and also living in the past. To uh, so pretty much anything that was released on Living in the Past was previously released as a single or a B-side. Living in the Past being an early 70s uh, um, compilation album, but I love it anyway. I actually bought a copy of it, a used copy of it this week at Atlantic Sounds here in Daytona Beach. But maybe for another episode, I'll show everybody. But good stuff. Okay, number 14 as voted by you. To Fry You a Song. So anyway, in the songs as voted by you, I'm not going to talk about them too much because I don't want to give away what's on my list just yet. But Cry You a Song, number 14. Ian does not play flute on this song, nor does he play acoustic guitar. He actually borrows one of Martin Barr's uh, Gibson Les Pauls and plays that with Martin on, in the song. And very electric. I love it. Great, great tune. Number 13, Teacher, also off of the album Benefit. Another great, great tune. Got a lot of airplay on FM radio, which I can certainly understand why it got voted in. Number 12, Minstrel in the Gallery. Great, great song. The title track off of their 1975 album, a song that Martin Bear contributed to so much, in fact, that Anderson gave him partial credit. That nice guitar run from about what, the 1.5, 2 minute mark till he goes for about 2 minutes. It's just killer, absolute killer. I've always said this. Martin was a big part of this band, whether you agree or not, Ian. Okay, number 11. Skating away on the thin ice of the new day. Off of War Child. Great, great tune. Another song that got played a lot on FM radio over the years. Number 10. My God. A song where Ian Anderson first conceived that idea of going into his flute solo improvisation, which he would play on stage pretty much every concert. Sounded great. Him humming and snorting into his tin whistle and otherwise. Great stuff. Okay, number 9. Foray. Very pleasantly surprised to see this song make the list. This is an instrumental off of Stand Up. Um, Recently, I guess Ian was forced to give writing credit to Johann Sebastian Bach, where he originally credited as traditional, arranged by Ian Anderson. Oh, not really. Mr. Bach deserves credit for this. Great song nonetheless. Uh, I love some of the instrumentals, the flute, the bass by Glenn Cornick. Awesome, awesome stuff. Number 8, also on Stand Up, Nothing is Easy. Great song in its own right. We may talk about it a little bit later. Number 7, I was a little pleasantly surprised to see this one in there. Witch's Promise. Now, Witch's Promise was largely unknown until I think the 80s when Jethro Tull released one of their greatest hit albums and this song resurfaced. Uh, Lend me your ears while I call you a fool. Ooh. Great, great tune. Okay. Number 6. We Used to Know, a song that sounds dangerously like Hotel California, or should I say Hotel California sounds like We Used to Know, with the exact same chord progression. Fortunately, Ian, he was not upset at the Eagles for using that chord progression, understanding that there are only so much chord progressions on a guitar fretboard. So, and he gave them credit for a great song, but topic for another day. I actually used Hotel California for another list that I conceived within the last couple days, but that's to be talked about at another time. But I love We Used to Know. What a great, great song. And again, Martin Bear does some great leads toward the end, uh, rivaling Don Felder and Joe Walsh. I'm sure they would agree. Okay, so number five, Aqualung. I was actually surprised to see Aqualung a little lower on. I thought Aqualung would be higher on the list, but I guess people were trying not to be too cliche with with picking their favorite song. So you'd be surprised what made it ahead of Aqualung. I thought this would hands down be their most popular song, but no. Number four, Cross-Eyed Mary, also off of Aqualung, just edging out Aqualung, the title track. Number three, Reasons for Waiting, another acoustic song off a stand-up. Great, great song. Uh, this, by the way, is my favorite album of all Jethro Tull albums. But some great, great acoustic work and, with some flute playing. Oh, and also some orchestration. Really good job on this one, Ian. Okay, number two. I don't think this will be of any surprise to you. To be thick as a brick. Do 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 do. So much has been said about this album that Ian was basically lampooning progressive rock at the time, but little did he know he wrote a gem here. This album is just incredible, incredible. Possibly one of my favorite prog albums of all time. I love the way, his passages are interwoven one song into another, that, there's no breaks and just such great work. Actually, the only break was when you had to flip the disc over back in 1972. Number one, can you guess what it is? I'll give you a hint. It is off of this album. So what do you think? I'll give you 5 seconds. Tick, 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 tick. Locomotive Breath. I was a little surprised to see this switched with Aqualung, but great song nonetheless. When I went to see Thick as a Brick 1 and 2 tour at the Beacon Theater in New York City, I went with my buddy Pete Pardo and my daughter Sam. Um, they only played one encore, and it was Thick as Locomotive Breath. So, I mean, how do you top a great show like that? And that's what they chose. Locomotive Breath. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a Monty Python-esque intermission. Do 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 do. And just having a little fun, folks. Bear with me. So now we're going to go to my top 15 favorites as voted by me. And what I do is I give you at the as voted by you list along the left pane here. So that's constantly there to remind you. I will tell you which songs that I have in common with the as voted by you list. So let's start. Song number 15, and there are no ties in this list. To Cry You a Song. Yes, the L means that it's in the as voted by you list. Again, great freaking song. One of their heavier songs, definitely heavier on this album, Benefit. Ian picks up an electric guitar, very rare occurrence. Uh, would have never expected him to do that, but sounds fantastic. Number 14, a favorite of mine off of the album, Heavy Horses, One Brown Mouse, a song that's brought me to made me misty-eyed a few times. I mean, this is a song that I've often wondered what this song meant, but I think it's a metaphor for us growing old and, you know, going through life and, just uh I don't know. You tell me in the comments what you think this song is about. But for me, I think it's about growing old and, you growing old with your loved one together. You're married, then next thing you know, 5 years have passed. Then your 10-year anniversary, you're 15, you're 20. Sue and I have been married for over 30. So, you think back on those days and it, makes you a little misty-eyed here and there. Ironically, my dad went to his lodge for dinner tonight, and there was a karaoke guy, and he actually played our wedding song. And I want you to remember it here because I may quiz you someday with a gift if you get it right. It's the song by Anne Murray. Can I have this dance for the rest of my life? A song that my wife Susan chose, and very good song. Beautiful. So you heard it here, folks. Okay, so I babbled enough. So let's go to number 13. Teacher appears again. So let me tell you a little story about Teacher. So the first album I ever, and again, back in 1977, 78, I felt people were pigeonholing me too much as being too much of a Kiss fan. And I wanted to branch out into other bands. So I would hear people sing Aqualung as they walked down the halls. And my friend had the album MU Best of Jethro Tull. So I'm thinking, you know what? Hello. It's got Aqualung. It's got Locomotive Breath. It's got a couple songs that I know. So I'll buy it and try it out, see if I like it. Now, the first song on the album is Teacher. So I would have to listen to Teacher before I get to Aqualung. And wouldn't you know it, on about my second or third spin, sorry, little indigestion. On my second or third spin, I fell in love with the song. What a great tune. No, 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 no. So that's Teacher. Great, great tune. Sadly, Ian would not play it on stage a lot, but great song nonetheless. To my number 12. What is my number 12? Hymn 43, one of the heavier songs on Aqualung, a song which I love. Uh, Very heavy indeed, but great, great tune. Basically, Ian's lampooning, all of religion. I think he's just poking fun at it. He doesn't hate it, but he does do it some honor with some of his Christmas music later on. But very funny nonetheless. And it also led to the album Thick as a Brick because too many people thought that it was a concept album against religion. But great tune, a lot of FM airplay. Number 11, Songs from the Wood. Oh, love it. So right around the time I bought MU Best of Jethro Tull, this friend of mine, Chris was his name, he bought Songs from the Wood and he would play it. We'd hang out, he'd play it. And you know what? After about the second spin, I fell in love with this album and bought it too. And you know what? What's not to love about Songs from the Wood? A song that they played when I saw them in 1979 for the first time at Nassau Coliseum during the Stormwatch tour. Remember that too, folks, because I may quiz you about that as well. But they did play Songs from the Wood that night. Very weird. They started it in the middle of the song and then went back to the first verse. So Ian likes to play games that way. Okay. Number 10. Back to the Family. Uh, this is one of my really deep tracks that I love by Jethro Tull off of Stand Up. I think, um, well, for one thing, it's got a very odd time signature, which my brother Andrew is a drummer, and I was at his house and he was practicing on his electric drums. And I said to him, try this song out, see what you think. And to his credit, he got pretty close to the odd time signature beat, kind of like a rumba rhythm that Clyde Bunker, I think, was playing. But also, I think Glenn Cornick's bass stands out yet again. Ian, you must have been high on drugs to fire him from the band. What were you thinking? I think he he played bass. He did laps around Jeffrey Hammond, so much better than Jeffrey Hammond. So, but I guess you took him because he was your buddy. What are you gonna do? Back to the Family, my number 10. To my number 9, The Overseer Overture, another song that I learned off of the album MU Best of Jethro Tull. It was on side 2. At the time, they called it um, Passion Play, edit number 8. There were no actual names of passages, but with all these Stephen Wilson re-releases, they kind of carved up the songs, which was wonderful because it gave me the opportunity to do my 90-minute uh, Tull Epics uh, albums, or epic songs in that episode with my friend Steve Buckley, who's as big of a Tull fan as I am. Hi, Steve. So yeah, so Overseer Overtures, my number 9. My number 8, Cup of Wonder, another deep track. So Songs from the Wood. So the album you go Songs from the Wood, Jack in the Green, a song which I love, song about yours truly. And then if another song that I really loved at the time because they released it on the live album, Bursting Out Jethro Tull Live, the song Hunting Girl. So I got to know that song very intimately and fell in love with that song again because of Martin Bare's great lead guitar playing. But before you get to Hunting Girl, you have Cup of Wonder, which is a great, great song in its own right. How Ian never played this on stage, I'll never know. Uh, Pass the cup of crimson wonder. Da, 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 da. Oh, amazing, amazing song. What do you think? You like Cup of Wonder? Let me know. Number 7. My God, no surprise there. Uh, in 1988, I saw them on the Rock Island tour, and they played My God. It was awesome. Ian sits down on a stool. He starts at do 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 do, and yeah, and then yeah, I'm like, yes, I'm so freaking glad they're playing that. Awesome. He also gave us Mother Goose and Cheap Day Return and Mother Goose that night. That was pretty cool, also. Okay, number 6, Minstrel in the Gallery. No surprise there. Martin Bear kills it, absolutely kills it, destroys it. From the 2-minute mark to about the 4-minute mark. And like I said, you know what? To me, he was a huge part of Jethro Tull's early sound, basically the sound in the 70s. I don't think they would have been as popular without him. He kills it. He destroys it. he is definitely an unsung guitar hero, Martin Bear. Remember that name, folks. Number five, living in these hard times off of um, Heavy Horses. So now, how this song did not make the original cut of 10 songs on that were released on this album in 1978, I will never know. Plus, this is just such a great, great song. I fell in love with it, having heard it, in one of the Steve Wilson mixes. Uh, they always gave you a bunch of extra songs to entice you to buy the really nice book packaging that came, and Jethro Tull did it right. I really wish Judas Priest did something like that with Rockarola. I definitely would have bought it, but what are you going to do? So great packaging, extra songs. It's like some of these albums, there was so many extra songs. It was like they were re-releasing 1970s material all over again here in the 1990s and 2000s. How could you go wrong with that? And for this song to make it all the way to my number five says something. Living in these hard times. Number four, Velvet Green. That's another great song off of Songs from the Wood. That's a song that, when we took our trip to Ireland, this song was stuck in my head numerous times as we were driving through the countryside, seeing all the greenery. Uh, Hopefully, someday when I make it to England, it'll be stuck in my head then too. But beautiful, beautiful song. Number three. What do we have for number three? Farm on the Freeway off of Crest of a Knave. All about a guy who lives in Silicon Valley and had his farm basically taken away from him due to eminent domain. I mean, they paid him handsomely for his farm, but now it became a freeway, and and basically what happened? He no longer had that farm which he grew up with, and yeah, very sad, sad state of affairs. A farm on the freeway, just to me, it is one of Ian's best works after, say, the Stormwatch album, or should I say the Broadsword and the Beast album of 1982. Great tune, great album. Okay, number two, not much of a surprise here. Thick as a brick. Uh, I can't say enough about this album as a whole. And yes, there is the L. It's my number two, just like it's your number two. But so drum roll for number one. What do you think? Okay, I'll give you a hint. I'll give you the album first. Stand Up. What song? I'll give you five ticks once again. Tick, 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 tick. Oops, I went too far. Nothing is easy. Let's do that right. Come on. Nothing is easy. I didn't like I didn't like the way that faded in, but whatever. You get the gist of it. What a great, great song showcasing all their talent. Uh, Ian's flute playing, Martin's electric guitar, Clyde Bunker on the drums, and of course Glenn Cornick's bass. Do 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 do. Oh, awesome! Great way to end a concert. Also, a great way to open a concert. I know they at Jones Beach they opened the show with "Nothing Is Easy." That was so freaking cool. Awesome. So there you have it. Let us stop sharing. There you go. So, what did you think? What were your top songs of Jethro Tull? I'm curious to know. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. If you stay tuned in another day or two, I'm going to give you a short video of top songs by another favorite group of mine. Uh, it, of course, if as a short, it's got to be in 2 minutes or less, but you will get to see that. Uh, I hope you enjoyed this one. Please keep watching. Please continue to help my channel to grow. For the new people that subscribed recently, Aces, thank you so much. The people that have been with me for 4 or 5 years, I love you guys. Bottom of my heart. Thanks so much. And we will talk soon. Jack Toledano, all or not according to Jack. Be well, everybody.